2016, I started my make money online journey, and I can almost guarantee I was in a place that is a million times worse than where you're at right now. My mom was in a horrible, life-threatening accident. She was in a coma for 2 months. My brother was into very heavy drugs. I had an abusive and alcoholic stepdad and was really just in the darkest point of my life. I remember there being a point where I genuinely could not see the light anymore. But deep down, I had a genuine belief in my abilities to just achieve what I want in life, and I knew I was made for something a lot bigger than the life I was living at the moment. In this video, I want to break down my entire journey of how I went from honestly a complete loser into making millions of dollars a year. I can promise you from the bottom of my heart that if you stay to the end of this video, you are gonna have all the tools that you need to genuinely go on this journey and have a very high success rate at making your first million in under a year. So without wasting any time, let's get into phase one. Phase one is incredibly important, and I think a lot of you are going to underestimate just how important it is. The title of this phase is Recreating Yourself. Right now, you have a frequency that's attached to your identity, your soul, your heart, your mind, everything. And this frequency is actively dictating the physical world around you. You know how everyone says that you're manifesting in all times? Well, this is incredibly true, and depending on how you feel, how you view yourself, and what that frequency is that you're operating at, that is literally building the reality that you experience on a day-to-day basis. I have read over 50 self-help books. I've looked into almost every religion you can name. I've read so much spiritual text and done so much inner work, and I promise you that this is just how the reality that you live in is functioning right now. So the best thing that you could possibly do to get from where you are right now to that first $1 million is hacking your identity, hacking that frequency, which is very hard to do. And to do that, you have to really understand who you are right now. And I think a lot of you watching this video probably don't have an actual connection with yourself to understand that. You've probably just skated through life pretty subconsciously and just taken what life's given you and never really challenged anything. You've never really gone out of your way to make something happen. So to break out of that, the first thing you need to do is create a vision board of the exact person that you want to become. And I know that sounds pretty underwhelming, probably sounds a little woohoo, a little girly, and just maybe a waste of time depending on kind of who you are. But I can promise you that your soul and this universe around you is very similar to a heat-seeking missile. If you want to go to a certain destination, you have to build that end destination. You have to understand what it looks like, and you really need to know where you're going, because your soul is going to give you inspiration and guidance, and God is going to help you through giving you little indications of where the heat is so you can get to that destination. But if you truly don't know the destination yourself, then how is God or the universe going to be able to take you there? So the most important thing is you have to set that vision board, and it needs to be ridiculously accurate and precise. You need to understand who you want to become, what clothes you want to wear, the life you want to live, what person you want in your life, the car you're going to drive, the house you're going to live in, the friends you're going to be around, the energy that you're going to feel, how you're going to look. You really need to paint the picture fully. Who is your highest self? What does it look like? Once you have a vision board done, you really need to jump into daily affirmations. And this is where you're basically just going to sit down with yourself for like 10 minutes at a time and just write I am statements that reinforce that vision board that you created and that new identity that you're trying to merge into. What you're actively doing is taking yourself from a ridiculously low frequency and just raising it to a high one. It's that simple. Most importantly, with your daily affirmations, you have to be doing gratitude. You have to thank God, thank the universe, thank your highest self that you already are this person now, that you already have these things now. I'm telling you guys, this is very, very deep, esoteric, real things about how this world functions, and you really need to not skip this step. Next, once you've done your vision board and daily affirmations, you need to jump into a dopamine detox. This is gonna help you really just get conscious and get in control of yourself. You need to go on a crazy protocol. I've done a full YouTube video where I do a 7-day dopamine detox where I can only eat steak and eggs. I can't even listen to music. There's literally zero dopamine. I have to read a certain amount of pages in a book each day. It was a very, very ridiculous protocol. But when you do that, you're quite literally just regaining control of yourself. I think everyone watching this video underestimates how much their phone, people around them, and just life controls them instead of them controlling it, especially with your body, with not being able to control yourself with certain actions, you know what I'm talking about, and certain food. Food is so big. If you can control what you eat, you're gonna be in control of your life. If you guys want more details on vision boards, daily affirmations, dopamine detoxes, I'm gonna have a ton of resources for you, and we'll talk about it later in the video. Once you're aligned with the direction that you're going, you really need to start documenting yourself through this process, because you're gonna wanna create a personal brand if you're trying to become a millionaire. It's just that simple. Having a personal brand is essential nowadays. It's your online digital resume, and without one, you're really just not gonna be able to live the life that you probably want to live if you're watching this video. So from day one, please please start your vision board, your daily affirmations, your dopamine detox, and start documenting every little part of your life and organize it on a Google Drive so you can use this content later and post it now as well to really resonate with people that are also on day one of their journey. With all that being said, let's jump into phase 2. Phase 2 is very important. This is where you're gonna be picking the vehicle that is gonna take you to making $1 million. Now, I'm gonna be genuinely honest and just tell you guys what the 2 best opportunities are right now in 2025. This may seem biased because just being open and transparent, I have courses around these things. One course is paid, the other one is free. I'm sure you guys have seen my 18-hour free dropshipping course. So dropshipping is something that I would genuinely recommend as easily the second best thing that you could do right now to start making money online. Very low barrier to entry. You don't need an incredible amount of special skills or money to get started. I will show you guys how you can get started with genuinely $1 right now today with a store, winning products, video ads ready to go, really everything done for you. But the other vehicle to start making money online is TikTok Shop as an affiliate content creator. And this is where I do have a paid course and community around this. But think about it. There is a reason that I've chosen to go into these 2 different fields because genuinely from the bottom of my heart, they are the best opportunities online right now. I've done them myself. I did TikTok Shop for 30 days as a complete beginner going live on my phone, and I made $6,500 in my first 30 days even trying it. I promise you, if I did a drop shipping challenge, I would not make $6,500 profit in my first 30 days. There is just a ridiculous opportunity with TikTok Shop where you can just sit down and make phone videos or go live on your phone, pointing it at a product and make 30 to even 50% commission of every sale that you bring in through your content or live stream. That is a lot bigger than the end game profit margin that you're gonna get in a scaled dropshipping store that's spending $10,000 a day on ads. You're just not gonna have a 30 to 50% profit margin. I can promise you that. So the 2 best vehicles to genuinely make your first $1 million, I promise you, are TikTok Shop and dropshipping. Dropshipping is a little bit harder. It's going to take a little bit longer to make money, but you have a higher potential ceiling of income because if you use dropshipping as a tool to create a real e-commerce brand and then you sell that for millions of dollars like the owner of Movement Watches did, you can genuinely make hundreds of millions of dollars. Dropshipping is also amazing because it's going to teach you how to actually run a business, how to pay taxes, how to hire employees, how to do marketing, how to manage your profit and loss statements. And really, it's just going to teach you all the skills that you need to be a high-level business owner. So on your vision board, if you see your highest self being someone who runs a massive company, you probably want to go down the route of dropshipping because it's going to teach you all the skills and talents that you need to genuinely be that person. But if you just want to make the easiest money online and start getting some income that you can play with later, TikTok Shop is going to be the fastest and easiest way to make money. I can promise you that. So very quickly, let me show you the assets I have for you guys to dive into these vehicles as fast as humanly possible. The first thing is your first store. This is a software company that me and my team created. We spent a year on this and a ridiculous amount of money, but all you have to do is come in here, sign up with Google, and literally just pick the niche of a store that you want to be created for you. These are hand-built stores with 8 winning products that me and my team personally found, and these stores aren't built by AI. They are incredibly high converting, they're very clean, they're ready to go. You really don't have to do too much to them to get them finalized. All you do is pick the niche you want, hit create my store, and you are given the username and password to log into that store instantly. But the most important part is you can click continue to the course, and it instantly takes you to probably one of the coolest things I've created in my entire life. This is a full 6-hour breakdown of everything I'm talking about right now. Recreating yourself, dopamine detoxes, books to read, vision boards, daily affirmations. I even take the store that you receive when you sign up for your first store and I scale it up to get sales. I make content for the product. I show you the product I'm picking. I do it all with you guys through this course. I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, guys, this is the coolest thing I've created. We got book recommendations in here, dopamine detox protocols, meal plans, workout plans, literally everything you could ever need. So even if you want to get into TikTok Shop, I would really recommend going through this course because it's really just on the same frequency of everything I'm talking to you about right now. I promise you, no one in the world has created a software company that hand delivers custom Shopify stores with 8 winning products that are hand picked and gives you a free 6-hour course on top of it. All you have to do to get this course is pay for a $1 plan on the Shopify store that we give you. If you want to sign up for your first store, we will have a link in the description of this video. It'll probably be the first one up there. If you want to learn TikTok Shop, I have a ton of resources for you guys as well. If you scroll down to the description, you'll see the second link on there. It will take you to this page that I'm on now. And if it's something that you feel like is the opportunity that you want to pursue that's in the line with your highest self in that vision board, then all you do is hit apply now. You answer maybe 6, 7 questions so we make sure that we can work with you, because we're not gonna let anyone into this. This is very insane. What we're offering in here is ridiculous. Our course, our community group is top of the line, and we have commission rates for almost 50% for products on TikTok Shop. This is inside the community group of our course, Phone to Freedom, and you can see we have 40% commissions for Nello, 47% for a product called Super Bonsai, 30%, 38%, 34% for NAD, 33%, 43%, 38%, 33%, 33%. I can promise you guys, if you're selling products on a dropshipping store, you're gonna have to make content to promote that store anyway on social media to get people to click your link in bio or to get your paid ads actually having good content. And in the end of the day, you have to do more work, you have to run a store, you have to build a brand, and you're still not gonna get some of these percentage as profit than you would if you just made the phone video on TikTok and collected the cash for every sale that you brought in through your video. It's absolutely ridiculous, guys. I can't underplay how strong TikTok Shop is right now. Let me go into Callow data and show you some of the creators on TikTok Shop and how much money they're making, because this is just mind-blowing. If we go to creators in the last 30 days, you can see that there are some that are making millions in a single month. This girl, Daisy Cabral, let's check her out. So last 30 days, she made 1.24 million in revenue, but keep in mind, I'm getting deals that are upwards of 46%. So if she's the top creator for the product that she's working with, which it seems like she's working with a lot of products, but her big one is Bella All Natural. So I can promise you that she has a connection with that brand and they're giving her a ridiculous percentage on this, probably even close to 50%. So let's say she's getting even 40% of 1.24 million. My dumbass had to get the calculator, but that's $492,000 from making videos on your phone. Actually, if we click in here, she was doing live streams. So all she did was click a button on her phone, go live, point at a product, and talk about it with people, and make $1.2 million in revenue. So whichever vehicle is right for you, I really recommend getting your first store course, watching through it, doing your dopamine detox, vision boards, daily affirmations, all that good stuff. But now let's get into phase 3. Phase 3 is all about sacrifice and really locking in and isolating yourself, pretty much ghosting everyone so you can fill up your cup until the point that it overflows so you can fill up everyone else's later. This is your time, and honestly, anyone who thinks that they are important enough to be in your time during this phase, they probably aren't. That's my personal opinion. I shut out quite literally everyone in my life during this phase to really just scale up and take everything to the next level. Work is the only thing that I thought about. There wasn't a single second that I wasn't thinking about my exact precise goal of my vision board of who I wanted to become. And most importantly, in this phase, you should also have an exact money goal and a date that you want to achieve it by. For me in 2020, I set the goal on February 4th to make $122,344.68 in my bank account by June 3rd, I think. So I don't even know how much time that is. Not enough to go from like the $8,000 I had in my bank account all the way up to $122,000. But I promise you guys, I genuinely made the exact amount of money on the exact date. I was $300 over the amount, and I really didn't do anything that different in my business. I was scaling up a dropshipping store after I lost one that did millions in sales. So I was starting fresh and I was really just struggling to find success. I was low on funds because PayPal banned me. I was really just going through a lot in that time period. And the only thing that I really did differently is I had a spreadsheet of that exact goal, and I checked my profits towards that goal every single day, tracked it all, and there really wasn't a millisecond where I wasn't thinking about that 122,000. That is manifestation. That is how this universe works. It needs precision. So if you set an exact money goal on an exact date that you're going to achieve it by, and this goal should scare you, then that's really what phase 3 is about. You should be scaring yourself. You should be locking in, and you should really be cutting out all distractions and just understanding that this is a season of your life that you won't really have to do again. And the main way to help you understand that is if you are a biplane, to get actually in the air, you have to use 100% capacity of the engine. If you are operating at 98% capacity of the engine, you will never lift off, you will never get in the air, and you'll just keep going on the runway forever thinking that success is something that just happens to people who are lucky. That 1 to 2% genuinely makes the difference in you getting in the air. But once you're in the air, you can fly at 30, 40%, even 20% capacity of the engine and just coast because you're already in the air. So phase 3 is your runway. It's your time to get in the air and relax later. You're gonna rest on your laurels and have the time to really focus on lifestyle and being happy with your life. This is your time to sit down and work. Now we're into phase 4, and this one is about really diving into the personal brand. So you should have been documenting the entire process, because I think a lot of people underestimate how interesting it is to watch someone start a journey. You don't have to be at your end goal person you want to be to start running a personal brand. A lot of people want to grow with you. A lot of people are in the same shoes as you and they want to see the process and they want to do it with someone. They want someone to hold them accountable. So you can have amazing success with your personal brand in day one. So you should have been focusing on that through all of these phases. But now on phase 4, you should be at some pretty insane success from that lock-in phase of your life. And keep in mind, this is all in a year time period. So that phase 3 probably would have been 3-4 months, let's say. Now, once success is really hitting in, it's time to dive into the personal brand and create an info product. Create something that people can be a part of, teach people, share the things that you've learned and the person that you've become, because I promise you, people want to relate with that. They want to learn from what you did. And when you just hit your first cusp of success, you're in a unique spot where you can relate with the people, but you're not too far deep into your success where you can't relate with them, if that makes sense. And I know everyone has weird stigmas about courses and they don't want to sell a course. And they don't want to be an influencer that sells a course and they don't want to be scammy. But I promise you guys, courses are just the next phase of education. Like our college system, our education system is a complete joke. That's a real scam. And we are getting back to the old ancestral path of just learning directly from a mentor. And if you go about it in a very genuine way and actually create something that's valuable for people, like my free 18-hour course, I spent so much time and put so much heart and just love into that, and my Your First Store course, and it genuinely changes people's life. And I make ridiculous amounts of money. I'm making like $300K a month from that course, even though it's literally free. So I just want you guys to understand that your personal brand is the most valuable thing you could ever dive into. It's not scammy. There are so many genuine ways to go about it, and you can really impact and change people's life through doing. So I really, really highly recommend you building some sort of community group, some sort of course, some sort of informational product for someone to be able to change their life and really go on a journey with you, get on calls with you, and I promise you it's so enjoyable actually doing that and seeing people get results, and it's going to be a massive income source for you as well. You're going to get into doors that you would never be able to get into if you didn't have a following and people didn't know who you were. You're going to be able to work with brands. You're going to get so many different sources of income that can come through it. You really can't put a number on the value that you can get from a personal brand. I mean, look at Mr. Beast and the brands he's running now. Look at Prime with Logan Paul and KSI. All these influencers are utilizing a personal brand to make literal billions of dollars. So no matter what it is that you want to do in your life, you don't have to stick with these first 2 vehicles for the rest of your life, but you can use these sources to create income, become someone who's worthy of success, make an info product, make more money off that as well, and then really just realign with what your purpose is. But now you have a following that you can create a new brand and do something that you genuinely love, even if these first vehicles towards success weren't something that genuinely like aligns with your highest self, if that makes sense. Which is exactly what I'm doing with Void Energy. This is my passion. This is what I want to work on until the day that I die. I'm wearing the hoodie. I want this to become the next Red Bull, and it's an energy drink designed for creatives. That's what I care about, and that's what I'm using all the money from my other pursuits to really fund and go out and go on that journey for the next rest of my life. Which segues us into phase 5. Phase 5 is about realignment and purpose, and it's really like the end of the circle and basically revisiting phase 1. Who are you now? You've created a new life, a new identity, a new reality that you live in, and now it's your time to recalibrate, realign with yourself, and just make sure you're still on that path towards becoming your highest self, because that's really an endless path. You're never gonna like just get there. Which I'm gonna be honest, guys, you can make $1 million through TikTok Shop, and I mean, that one girl made probably $500,000 in a month. So your genuine like likelihood of making $1 million through an info product, through dropshipping, or through TikTok Shop as an affiliate content creator is pretty ridiculously high. I see it all the time. So with your newfound $1 million, this is your time to really sit down, figure out who you are again, make sure you're on that exact path, and really just formulate the next phase of your life. And this is the cycle, this is the seasons of life that you're constantly gonna go through. It's just how life works. Think of the 4 seasons. You're just going around in these circles of different phases and different sections of life and death and rebirth and growth. And it just keeps repeating itself. So phase 5 really is just phase 1 repeated. And I promise you guys, everything that I'm talking about is through some genuine, real, like hard life experience. And I've read over probably 50 self-help books at this point. I didn't really touch on it too much, but reading in phase 1 and in phase 5 and just throughout all of these phases is so important. And in the description of this video, I'm gonna put a link to my top 30 favorite books that I've ever read. And I promise you guys, all of these are very strong. Throughout all these phases, please make sure you're reading. Go through this list and just read any book that you really feel called to, because all of these are my top favorites. They are absolutely insane. And I promise you guys, if you go through all of these seasons, you read these books, you do your dopamine detox, your daily affirmations, your vision boards, you're gonna make $1 million. I can promise you that from the bottom of my heart. And please, on your journey, go utilize any of the assets I've created. I would love to see you in the Phone to Freedom community group and course if that's something that you align with. But if not, all you have to do is pay $1 to start drop shipping like today, right now, and have a store that's ready to accept sales. So I hope you got endless amount of value out of this video. I'm truly rooting for you and all your success. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one.